Boom, in some gold shorts right now. We are on the 1 hour time frame, looking for a quick sweep back down here, going for a 1-to-1. So I'll show you my entry here. So I was initially trying to enter up here, but it started looking like it was gonna break this structure. So I was just waiting for the reaction at this point here. On the 15-minute time frame, we see that we're kind of going to break up. Even if we go on the 5-minute, we see a pretty solid, confirmation here that we were going to continue going higher. But in this case, what you want to do is you want to wait for the reaction in that area before taking any trades, right? So you always want to wait for a reaction of that area before entering. So I kind of stepped away for a little bit, and I started seeing that we started to get this decline here, and we ultimately broke this nice little upwards trend, and we're overall going with the past, I would say the past daily, the past day, or for this day, I should say, for this day, ever since the daily candle opened, we have been on this little bearish trend, and essentially we just want to follow the trend here, right? So this would have been a good opportunity for us to enter short up here. I just missed it, and like I said, I was waiting for that initial reaction. It did give us a pretty big push here. So now the 5-minute is starting to break this counter trend line. So we are just going to continue moving our stops a little bit. So we're going to trail our stops pretty tightly here. We're like at a 1-to-1. I'm not too stressed about the RR multiple right now. Just kind of wanted to get some quick scalps in so that way I can pass this combine and move on to the funded account. And then we'll play it a little bit less risky once we have the funded account. But so far it looks good. The 1 hour is about to close here in the next 3 minutes, which will also close the 4-hour candle. But I think I might be getting out here pretty soon. So let's just see how this plays out. So we've got an initial break here, started seeing some rejections here of this trend line. So we should start seeing some push here, we should start seeing some pushes back down to this swing low. And we should start testing this area again. Like I said, there's a lot of orders here for bullish momentum to continue, especially if we look on the 4-hour. We do see that we're in obviously overall bullish momentum, but we're day traders, so we're trying to find moves within the day. Since we have to get out on a daily basis, we can't really swing trade in futures, so we have to find scalps or find good momentum during the day, so that way we take advantage of the small moves that it gives us. So if we're looking for a bearish day today, we want to be looking for bearish moves and obviously not try to catch these big freaking legs, right? We're just trying to scalp here. And this would be a good opportunity for us to scalp and swing these lows or sweep these lows here. And then potentially come back into this area and then, see how it starts reacting here and then get this leg up. So yesterday we took a short right around here and we got out right around here. And today, and then right after, like, what was it? Yeah, right after market just swinged up. So right now we're just looking for a swing low, another swing low here. See if we can retest these areas. See if I can draw. So this is where the initial move happened. So this is where we have some good area of demand here. This would be a good area of demand, which will also align with previous daily open. But overall, this market is bullish here. We just don't want to get trapped buying the tops, or selling the bottoms. This would be a good opportunity for us to go with this initial selling pressure, see if it can come back to this initial demand. But you see how this initial demand zone, like like yesterday where we pushed down, we hit the EMAs, the moving averages, and then we had to push back up. So this push didn't end up delivering a new high or even retesting the highs. So there should be some good selling momentum starting to happen here. If we can come back and retest this demand zone, we'll see how it reacts in this area. Depending on how it starts reacting in this area, if it starts consolidating and then starting to break that bearish structure, then we'll continue looking for longs here, right? So obviously we're in a bullish uptrend, which this thing ended up testing this previous high very perfectly. This would have been a good buying opportunity to have pending limits here for a good, 1 to 3. This would have been a good, beautiful trade, even if you did something like that, a good 1 to 3. This would have played out perfectly. This would have been a beautiful trade, having a pending order set here and then just waiting for it to get filled and then you going with the overall momentum. Right now we are going with the downwards momentum with the selling pressure that we've been having. So all of this is just selling pressure with a little bit of accumulation. There's still long buyers here, but none of these closed bullish. So let's just go ahead and continue with the momentum, continue with the selling pressure, and let's see if it can just fill us in for a quick 1-to-1. This will get us one step closer to passing our trading combine with Top Step, so that way we can go ahead and get our funded account. So yeah, so this is the 30-minute lows, 1 hour lows. So like there's a lot of liquidity that is resting here. Like I said, this is the initial demand zone right here, where we see that this is this is where we took trades yesterday. We took the sells here and we got a pretty good outcome from it. And then we see that we have demand here with this big green candle, and then from here it just never came back down into this area. So if this can come back down to this area, retest, get some reactivity from it, some reaction, then we can see if we're going to continue going higher. If this breaks lower, then we'll potentially test these next areas down here, and then we'll see if we can get some longs down over here. Like I said, we're in an overall long-term bullish, like for months and months and months. So right now we're just trying to find trades within the daily structure, since futures, you cannot swing trade on futures, so you have to day trade. So you have to look for moves within the day that align with the current daily trend for the day, right? That's what day traders are. You're looking for momentum within the day that you can trade alongside that momentum and try to capitalize on those small swings within the day, because we cannot swing trade on a futures trading combine or on a funded account either. So we'll just see what happens here. It is kind of risky. This is kind of a more riskier trade just because we are trading at these lows, and like I said, like every time it's come down here, it's just been rejected, but it's just been creating lower lows, lower highs. So we have this higher high, this higher low, higher, or we have this high here, we have this low, we have a lower high, we have a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high. So let's see if we can at least retest these lows here. We just broke this trend line too, so everything is looking pretty solid. Let's see if we can just hold it and see what happens. I am going to move my stop a little bit tighter, just because if it comes back into this area, then the whole trade idea is invalidated, in my opinion. Once something gets invalidated and goes back to a previous range, your initial trade idea is invalidated. Like, you should no longer be interested in it. And even if it goes your direction after it gets invalidated, like, the key thing is you have to follow your trading rules, right? Even if it does get invalidated and it does go back into your direction, the trading plan is no longer the trading plan. It's no longer following your initial trade idea. So you want to scratch it and just start all over. So yeah, I'm kind of not liking this no more, just because we have been having that initial rejection. We can see here. Let's just see what happens. Brand new 4-hour candle, brand new 1-hour candle, brand new 30-minute candle. So this is the start of a brand new 4-hour candle. So we just gotta hold and see. Just be patient. I'm actually kind of starting to like this. The 1 hour, 4 hour looks a little bit sketchy. But if this can hold, then we should see a drop back into this area. Alright guys, I'm actually going to enter one more time. Let's see if it puts me in. Another 10 micro cons. See if it fills me. Should fill me in here. Alright, just got filled. We may get stopped out on this, guys. But I'm following my plan. Everything looks good for this to potentially come back down. Cons, 20 mini cons. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna do anything. We got news tomorrow, so we got CPI news tomorrow. CPI news is tomorrow. So what does that mean? That means that the market may be kind of dead until news tomorrow. $30-minute looks good. I mean, we have, look at this big 30-minute bearish engulfing candle. So we've had all of this play here, right? We've had all of this buying and selling being done here. And then we have one big selling candle, one big bearish red candle. So if market wants to continue going lower, then we are going to retest these tweezer bottoms along with around a 50 to 70% rejection of this candle, or retracement, I should say. We're around a 50 to 70% retracement of this candle retest, and then overall continue with its way down. So we should be looking at another push down here overall. And like I said, going back into this initial demand zone. So when CPI comes out tomorrow, after news, of course, we'll be seeing the reactions in this area. See if we can make it to this area. If we can make it to this area, it'd be fantastic. Looking for reactions in this area to potentially go long or to potentially go short. 15-minute candle close, pretty great. You know, indecisive doji. So whenever you see an indecisive doji like this, right, a spinning top, whatever you want to call it, doji, spinning top, whatever, same thing. It's pretty much the same thing, just indecisiveness, right? Markets telling us that in the last 15 minutes, neither buyers were in control nor sellers were in control. But in this scenario, when you look for that, is when you see the previous candles, that would most of the time will indicate the direction of where it's going to go on the next couple of candles, right? So we have this big bearish red candle. We have another red candle breaking this counter trend structure, creating a spinning top doji, indecisiveness. Then this red candle, if we're going with the trend, right? Because that's all we're looking for, is just going with trend, guys. It's just keep it very simple. Don't have to do anything else besides just going with the current trend of the day, of the last couple of hours. You know, we're going with the trend. So right now we've identified we're in a clear bearish trend, right? Clearly it's a bearish trend. Until this gets broken back to the upside is when you can start having that shift of momentum back with the overall long-term trend. But right now we are counter trend trading because we are trying to scalp, right? We are scalping the market. So we're finding a move within the day so we can get in and out and trade alongside the current daily or 4-hour, 1-hour trend. So in this scenario, we're down trending. So if we have a big bearish red candle followed by another red candle, then we get a spinning top doji. Ultimately, you do not want to take this as a buy signal. We've already have multiple confirmations here letting us know that we potentially can continue going lower. Why? Because it just created a high here. This is the next low that it has to take out if it's going to continue or at least retest. So we're going to get out on the retest and then wait for another opportunity. In this scenario, we have a break of this little small counter trend going up. It failed to break the bigger trend, right? Failed to break the bigger downward trend. So it broke this small upwards trend, printed two red bearish candles, printed this doji candle, overall signifying that there isn't enough bullish pressure to push it back above where it would technically invalidate our initial trade idea of going short. So it should continue going short if we're going to overall follow that trend, right? So we have this bearish candle here, another bearish candle breaking the upwards trend. We have a spinning top indecision, rejection with the indecision, and then we have a follow through. So if this follows through, we should retest these lows here, and then we'll be out. We'll be out of this trade now. So we're in 20 mini cons. We've been in this trade for about 15, 30, 45 minutes now, 45 minutes-ish. We're in the middle of Asia session, so everything looks pretty solid right now. So we'll just continue to hold. And yeah, we'll just continue to hold this bad boy. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We're up 580. Look at this 1 hour. So see the 1 hour rejection. So now we have a beautiful move that's playing out perfectly. So if we just bring out our trend line here. Guys, literally you don't have to overcomplicate this, right? It's just about finding those entries or waiting for those entries that can potentially deliver to the next low or to the next high. So right now, as we can see, it's delivering, right? So we have a rejection here. We had this big rejection here. Initially, I was trying to sell at this top, but like I said, I was watching this 5 minute and it did overall look like it was potentially going to break here, since we are in an overall bullish trend, right? In the weekly, monthly, daily, we are overall bullish. So if this would have broke this structure here, this downwards trend, if it would have broke, I would have waited for a retest and a continuation back going higher, but it didn't. It rejected hard, and it was a hard rejection. In 15 minutes, it created a bearish engulfing candle that wiped out all of this trading activity in the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 15-minute candles in the past hour and a half ish. It wiped all that trading activity, with followed by another bearish candle breaking this upwards, this small uptrend here, and overall going with the overall bearish trend that we're in right now. In the past 4, 5, 6 hours since market open, we are in an overall bearish downtrend. So being that it broke this upwards trend, we got in right here, right? We saw spinning doji, spinning top doji, indecision candle here, and overall we're following the momentum. This didn't give us signal that we were going to go higher. We're going to go back into this invalidation area. So now we are going to just follow the trend, and we're just going to hold this, and we're going to move our stops a little bit, just a little tighter, so that way we start reducing some risk here. You could potentially get out. We're at a 1-to-1 right now, so we could potentially close some of our position out. But like I said, I'm trying to pass this combine, so I'm just risking, I am just, trying to pass this combine to get to my funded account much quicker. So if I can just hold this trade, it's not a big move. It's not that big of a move. The 30-minute looks solid. The 1 hour looks solid. The 4 hour even looks pretty solid here, but it starts getting into a more risky area when we start looking at the 4 hour and we start seeing all of these big rejections here, right? Overall, the market on the smaller time frame is moving down, so we're just going with the momentum here. That's all we need right now. We don't need that big of a push. This is overall going to give us what, 60 ticks, 60 points, a $6 move on gold, so it's not insanely amount. So this is a good scalp here. This was a good scalp. I had very little drawdown, went almost instantly into profit, and we're just holding here. So we'll just see this thing hit take profit again, and then we'll be one step closer to passing this trading combine. Right now with these floating profits, we're at like 104,500, 104,600. Once it hits TP, we'll be at like 105, about 105. So $1,000 away from passing the trading combine. So we'll just continue holding this and see this play out. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, bro. Super simple trade, very simple setup, clean setup, little to no drawdown, and we're already about to hit TP. So I don't need anything more than this. This is pretty much all I need for right now. We're about to hit TP. Let's go. TP is getting hit. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, baby. That's what I'm talking about, man. Exactly what I said would happen happened. Now, how much would it suck if this thing didn't hit TP and it just reversed on us? That would freaking suck so much, bro. Seeing it happen so many freaking times too. It's just like, oh my gosh. It created a new low of the day. Low of the day is 36.75. Yep. So it's creating a new low of day here. This thing has to hit, right, chat? Like, this thing has to hit TP, right, chat? When you're just like, dude, just hit TP. Just hit TP already. Like, oh my gosh, look at that freaking rejection. Like, this is the shit that is so annoying, bro. It's like, look at that. How annoying is that? Look at how close it comes to hitting TP. But if it was my stop loss, I would have already been out. Like, this would have hit my stop loss already. Guaranteed it would have hit my stop loss. Guaranteed. But we're just going to continue holding this. We're going to move our stops lower. This thing should not go any higher than that. I still believe that overall we're going to come down to this area, to this demand zone overnight. You know, it's probably going to come back, retest up here one more time, and then come down. Tomorrow we have big news, CPI, so I wouldn't recommend trading during CPI. You can trade after. I would wait, 15, 30 minutes after CPI to see how the reactions are in those key areas. But yeah, overall, I'm going to wait for a pullback into this demand zone and see how the market reacts here. If it reacts with some big rejections, then we can potentially look for some shift of momentum back to the upside and then get another good scalp like this. If not, we'll wait, and if it breaks, then we'll look for some short opportunities as well. But this market, or this trade, better freaking hit TP right now. Like, at this point, like, we're like freaking $40 away. $40 away from TP. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, just give it to us already. Boom, boom, bada boom, bada boom, boom, boom. That's how you fucking trade. Low freaking risk, little to no drawdown, 1 hour scalp, in and out, made $1,000. Now our account sits at 104. 104. Let me show you guys. So that's our P&L. Our account sits at 104,907. So we'll be back tomorrow. Peace.